Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy, P Funk, thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. And I want to let you know right now before we get started, I just want to testify. Little heads up. This is gonna be fun. I'm gonna have this fun with this lesson. Alright, let's go. Rightism. 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give you life lessons that I live purposely, personally. And you tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. I got you. Right thinking mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking is way of life. That's what it is for me. Through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily, that's what makes it a way of life. Will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka to know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? When I'm done, you will. A person who knows not, and knows not that they know not, is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock, here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. I'm gonna take it here. I know I would every time. This is about me, and this is a good one. Why? I waited a long time to get this lesson down. Why? Because I had to experience it first. I had to go through it so I can give it to you in a lesson. So let's go, right thinkers. Let's talk about how I just wanted to testify to what? How good God has been to me. You sound like a Christian. You sound, yeah, I sound lit, but no, I'm a spiritual lit person. I live a spiritually disciplined lifestyle with a philosophy that you can practice. And you call it religion, that's fine, but I know what it is. But let me explain to you. If you're getting a blessing, that means something that you're in need of. You're doing something right. I tell you that all the time. Okay, so let's get this lesson. This is going to be fun. Yeah, and when I told my pastor, because we talked, I said my next lesson gonna be I want to testify after everything worked out the way it did. Now I got a testimony. Wednesday night, I testified on the prayer line. I've been on that line a long time, and I heard a lot of people asking for prayers. And I heard a lot of people getting their prayers answered by saying thanks and giving testimony. This week I was one. Just want to let you know. Yeah, I participate. Why? It's what it is. What it is. And my dude said, 4 years ago, if you told me that guy would be on my prayer line, giving a testimony about how good God is, I'd have fell over backwards. But yeah, that's what happened. So that's where we are. Let me talk about it right quick. I tell you, I'm not religious, okay? But I'm spiritually enlightened. I know God. I don't believe in God. No, I got more. Again, I'm making the testimony. I'm testifying. I told my pastor, wait a minute, one second, quick. When I told my pastor, I want to tell, he said, but right, that's one of the hymns. I said, no, that's George Clinton. He said, maybe George got it from church. I know I didn't. I got it from George. Okay? That's too funny. But in life, if you are religious or whatever it is, but if you're living right, this is what you do it for. When an adverse situation comes your way, one day or in my case, one night, and seem to just flip your life all upside down. No rhyme or reason. You just caught up in something that you had nothing to do with. Okay? My car got totaled. I ain't even in it. Okay, but that was a few weeks ago, and it's been a nightmare. I woke up to a nightmare, and it's been like that for the last few weeks. But being true to my game, I stayed committed. I stayed firm. I did my due diligence. I prayed about it. I talked to God about it. So listen, I don't know how and why, but my pastor again, this was an ongoing joke we had. He he said God is doing a new thing in his life. Okay, what they got to do with me? Why you gonna tear my car up? So, long story short, I was part of the collateral damage, but it's good, not a bad thing. But I don't know how I got in the mix, but that's a little joke. But I'm saying, when adversity hit, I went through it. But guess what? I was true. I was diligent and I was faithful. Why? I had faith and my belief was well grounded and it will work out. Nothing to do with me. Why? I did the best I could. I couldn't do nothing else. When I reached that limit, okay, God, do your thing. And because I tell you all the time, remember, it's better to have blessings and don't need them than to need them and don't have them. I was in need of a blessing. And guess what? Yeah, I couldn't wait to do that. I've been riding this wave of, man, I can't wait till it happens. And when it happened, thank you, Lord, now I can express it to those others. Why? This is what I teach. This is what I live for. And this is what I can make happen. Why? I'm going to tell you the way it happens, simple as that. Moving on. Some people, they don't hear that nonsense, but this is a life lesson. I'm learning them as I go also. And what's this? I had to put my faith where? In God, out of my hands. You let go and let God. When you've done all you can, now you give it to the man. And if you've done all you're supposed to do, you in good hands, okay? To take care of the situation because I could not do anything. It just wasn't working for me to get a car. Ain't happening. Bad credit. Hello, reality. Bottom line. All right. But I was in a bad situation. But because of my faith, I kept my spirituality, kept my spirit strong in faith. My pastor said, but right, and I only told one person about my situation. Everybody knew what I was going, but only one person, me and my dude. And every day said, don't worry about it. Back in the day when I was this and he was the good guy, we was on my side of the fence. I gave him advice about what we was doing, and the favorite phrase to him back then was, just hold on, just ride it out. 40 years later, I'm dealing with a situation. We in his side of the fence. We dealing with God. He said, brother, right? Just ride it out. Remember what I said, yeah. Apropos. Talking about going full circle. It worked like a charm. He got his, I got mine. We both got white vehicles. God doing a new thing. And if you serving him, that's what you're getting to. What? A new thing. Something good should be happening for you. Something positive should be coming your way. If you're living right, that don't happen by accident. Moving on. And at this point in my life, I show gratitude for all my blessings in my daily life. I don't just serve on every, nope. And I see people treat God like he's the damn genie. Oh, when I need something, I go pray, and God give it to me. You might go to the crab table in Atlantic City and do the same thing. Okay, it don't work that way. Every now and then, you hit a lick. Excuse me. They say blind squirrel find a nut every now and then. So moving on, that's the concept. But you only blessed for doing what's right. I live I live in gratitude, excuse me, before I need a blessing. Why? I'm stacking them up. I tell you, if you do the right thing today and don't have a situation where you need a blessing, you stacking it. That's the savings. You saving blessings. I've been stacking them up. So when my situation came up, I knew that, and all I wanted to do was ride it out. So when it got to bed, I can do what I'm doing now, express it. My pastor, his brother-in-law, another pastor, minister, he got a very favorite phrase. God will make a way where there ain't no way. And I'm saying, my man, you are so right, because my old man had it a little different. He said, you don't know where the shit'll go blind. But when you put the work in, the decision's already made. Okay, that's the difference. I used to have that problem about not knowing no more. Why? I know I put in the work, so I know I was gonna get my return. And what? That's right thing of philosophy. That's how it works. You just do what you're supposed to do, and when the situation that you need it, it'll be there for you. Moving on. I had to walk, and I did walk that long and arduous, lonely road of Lord, yeah, I know you know. I know you. Yeah, so it was an ongoing conversation. First week, okay. Second week, come on, Lord. You know, the third week, okay, Lord. Now, come on, we got to get this thing done. And lo and behold, it happened. So yeah, and that's through the power of prayer, belief, and also putting in the work. Okay, it didn't just happen. Moving on. Now, when I'm in need of something from God, a blessing, I don't tell man or woman. Why? I talk to God. He the one can take care of it. Man or woman can't. Simple as that. Ain't nobody gonna loan me the money. Ain't nobody. So why tell you my problem? You can't help me. Okay. I keep an ongoing conversation. So he know the deal. My pastor say he knows your heart. Okay. I ain't got a problem with that. My heart's pure. I know God hears my prayers. Why? I talk to him every day, and I pray for somebody every day. I never pray for me. So when I start praying for me, oh really? I'm in need now. I really need this, and that's how I did it. And I walked the walk and kept it to myself. But I was, no, my faith never wavered. I never concerned myself with it. I stayed strong. Why? Because there was this. Because the blessings I had, they're for me. When what? When I need them. I need them, and yep, lo and behold, ding, ding, ding. Boy, I like that idea. And I show my gratitude to God when daily. How? By just talking to Him, praying and talking and meditating, communing with him, and letting him know what I need and what I'm in need of. And that's how it works out. But don't forget, you have to put your work in. I've been here every day. You'll never know from what I'm doing, what I was going through, and you ain't supposed to. That's the difference. So I didn't change nothing. I didn't stop nothing. I didn't get all, well, I can't do that because nope. Stay the course. It's a beautiful thing. All right, that's why I teach it. I live it. I live right daily. Not bragging, but this is just a way of life I've decided to do. I chose this. It didn't choose me. All right, and to show God that I am a good and faithful servant. When daily. Not every now and then. Not when you bless me when I get what I've been praying for. No, I didn't change the program while I was going through it. When I got it, the program ain't changed. That's steadfast. Okay, that's how you do your due diligence. Stand firm and be committed. And when it happens, you wait a little while and you welcome what it is you're after. Why? It'll come to you. Law of attraction. I don't just teach a good God game or talk a good. No. I'm the MVP. Why? I shine every day, like the sun. I'm just like that. I'm regular, and I'm here to do what I do. It's for you. That's my point. I teach rightism, aka God life lessons, when daily. Have been for the last 5 years. But because why? It's what life for me. It's what I do to help you to be the best you can be. That's what I got for you. That's it. No. That's it. So if you want anything else, you go somewhere else. I ain't got it. That's it. All I got. All right. I do one thing. If you're God conscious, CONSCIENC, that means you're conscious of your heart and your mind have become one. This is the male. This is the female. You marry them, you get enlightenment. Yeah, you would get the combination to the keys to the kingdom. If you're God conscious, and I am, that means living right is what you do also when daily. You can't pick and choose when to serve God. You can't pick and choose when to live and do the right thing. It's not an option. No exceptions. You do what you're supposed to do, when and how you're supposed to do it. No questions asked, no excuses, no other reason, and that's how it works. Trust me, that's due diligence and steadfastness. I pray again, and I meditate. When? Daily. No exceptions. Okay? No matter the adverse situation, no matter how good the situation. When I'm doing good, I'm still doing my routine. When I'm going through a situation, I gotta go through bad situations, adverse situations that I'm not comfortable with, I deal with it the same way, still do my job. That's why. I see people when something happen, they fall apart. They can't get it up. I can't do this. I can't do it. Man, if your emotions is running you, you better start getting a grip. Why? It's gonna lead you the wrong way. If your ego, and that's your emotion, is running you, you're gonna have issues. If you're in need of a blessing and you ain't do the things that you need to receive them, you won't. Okay? And you know how to get the blessing. If you don't, let me explain to you. Live right. Well, when? Daily. But I did, no. Again, no exceptions. Live right, do right, and what'll happen? You'll be blessed. That's how you earn the blessing. And people, the older people who know that, they don't run around acting a fool. No, they just do their thing. They know they just stay the course. I'm getting an understanding. I see it, I understand it. So I'm just trying to get you to see it, understand it for yourself. You couldn't tell me this. You couldn't pour this on me. If I don't experience it, man, I ain't trying to hear that. I know some people say this nigga always has on some mouth. I'm just keeping it real. Even when you don't like it, it's still real. Moving on. That's my point. I ain't gonna change for that. Now, if you're, excuse me, well, yeah, okay, now I teach and tell you about God. When? Daily. I never forget, a few years ago, when I first started out, my mom said, well, baby, everybody don't want to talk about God all the time. Okay. I told my pastor, my mom said, everybody don't want to talk about God all the time. He said, but right, whenever you want to talk about God, call me. We talk every day. But I'm not a preacher. Why? I don't use the Bible. My pastor's a preacher. He preached from that book. I got other books that I teach from. Okay, I got a bunch of books, so they just know one book. But I got a Bible over there. Matter of fact, I might pull a Bible out one day. My Bible is the original Hebrew Bible with all black people in it. When I studied Hebrew studies back in late 80s, okay, my teacher gave me the Bible because I was a good student. Okay, so I know religion. Moving on, I just want to let you know I know that book too. But I like my books. Why? I know my man, that's his book. That book is belong to him. Why? I don't mess with that. That's his stuff. And he don't mess with this, so we good. I'm the sage, he's the saint. Alright, moving on. And I tell you, every day I teach you what? About God with what? A philosophical concept on what? From our ancient ancestors. I tell you, Semitic way, she taught Netta, Maya philosophy. It's all mythological, philosophical concepts. And it works. Why? I use it. I used, again, books that I learned from. These are the books, my books beat up, and this is one of the lucky ones. I got this one signed from Ivan Van Sertima. Back when I was coming up, the guys who were doing this back in the day, they would come to the neighborhood, they would come to local spots, a few hundred people, gather around and hit a message. That's how it was done back then. Now, all you gotta do is hit a button. If you're ignorant now, that's a you problem. But we used to chase knowledge. Okay, I had to go around the corner, through the alley, just across the track, to get through psychedelic shack to get me some knowledge. Okay, but that's how it was. Now it's information age. I'm just here being a GPS, point you in the right direction, so to speak. All right, spiritually and philosophically. Let's go. I use books to learn from that I studied over 30 years ago. It's been that long. Wow. It's fun for me now. Why? I ain't got to make nothing up. Man, I'm doing one book. I got two books, right? I got the book with my man, the covers off, but this is the Nile Valley Culture Contributions to Humanity. I'm reading from that. This is Egypt Revisited. And The information pretty much is identical. Two different guys, but the information, why? Truth don't change. It is what it is. So I got my point, and that's what I'm trying to explain to you. What I'm giving you ain't nothing I made up. Ain't nothing that you ain't got. They just ain't gonna teach it to you. That's all. And if you enjoy the information, tune in. That's what I'm doing. I got you. All right. That's what I do for you. Where we at? Where we at? Okay, watch this. God can be learned about. That's the whole purpose of having ministering and preaching, going to ritualistic practice on Sundays and Wednesdays. Other than what? In a religious book. I'm teaching about God. I don't use no Bible. I don't use no Quran. I don't use the Torah. Nope. I use books I learned about God from. That's the best way. What? That's the only way I know. I can't teach the Bible. I ain't versing that thing. I understand it, know it, but that ain't my thing. These is my books. All right. So, but if you don't know God, you don't know thyself. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. Get you to know you, and if you know you, you will know God. They synonymous. They one and the same. How about that? Here's a little tidbit. Where we at? All right. Where we at? I have no use for religious book, aka the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran. No use for them at all. To teach. Why? Teach you about God's laws, aka nature. I use the cosmology, I use mythology, I use allegorical stories to make my point. And the twist with mine is to make it right thinking is I use my life experiences to exercise my points and most of my concepts. How about that? That's the only difference. Other than that, it's a philosophy that I learned over the last 35 years. All right, wrapping it up. Here you go. Okay, where you at? I know God. I keep telling you that. I don't believe in God. I used to know once. Believe is just not knowing. Once you experience God or have your but God moment or have your conversation with God, God came to me in a Vince Lombardi voice. I tell you that all the time. Oh, yeah, white man. Okay, I don't care. The voice was a spirit. I didn't care what color it was. Moving on. I know who he was as a man, and that's what I judge and do what I do about people, not your color. Okay, perfect example. Everybody thought because she was black, they're going to vote for her. How'd that work out? Moving on. So it ain't about color. That's my point, just with that incident. Yeah. My God voice was of a white man. How about that? Not the big puffy white guy in the sky, the big fat, no. The coach of the Green Bay Packers, I know just who he was. Now, I know God. And why? That's why I got what? I testify. That's why I testify. The gospel, good news. I'm letting you know something good. The situation was bad, but I came through it, and it's something good at the end. What do you call it? Happy ending? This ain't about physical happy ending. It's a spiritual, feel-good happy ending, a real happy ending. Do you have one of your own? I got to testify. I got a testimony. I on the prayer line, everybody do. Why? If you're living and doing right, you will have one too. If you ain't living and doing right, the prayer line ain't where you want to be. I'm there every week. Okay? And this week was my week to testify. I'm happy about that. Okay, let me wrap this up again. I appreciate you tuning in. If you ever been ass out, you ever been in a bad situation, and then all of a sudden things work out. I tell the story when I got caught in the hotel room with all my works down in Newark, Zanzibar. I know it's a wrap. I done submitted to myself, no, you going to jail. You done. You done messed up. Tore your ass. And lo and behold, at that point in time, the guy walked in the door. And then he said, man, you know who that is? I'm sitting there looking at him. He said, no, that's Bill's son. That guy right there. I've never been so glad to be Bill's son. So, again, boy, he got a way of working out. But I had a few moments I wasn't paying attention. And my mother said to me, I'm glad you listened. Okay, that little voice in the head, yeah, I listen. I've been listening for a while now. That voice, in the voice of Vince Lombardi over 10 years ago. Moving on. You have to get that in. If you look back on your life, I'm sure that, aka self-reflect, you will find a scenario where you, yeah, if you didn't recognize it then, you can look back on it. I had a few of them, I just didn't recognize them. Okay, them near misses, yeah, but when they got the bullseye, you get ooh, that don't feel too good. So yeah, I recognize the goodness. And watch this. I have a personal testimony. For what? For you. For what? I just went through a scenario that I put it in God's hand, and for 3 weeks, I let Him have His way. Why? That's how long it took before I got what I was looking for, a new car. All right? So, testify with what? A fact of life lesson. Hope you're learning. Why? It's how God, watch this, I testify on what and how good God is in my life. You can't get that if you ain't living right. I'm just saying. But if you have your own testimony, how good God is in your life, then you living right. He don't pick and choose. He just you, yeah. No, not you. Why? You ain't doing the right thing. Moving on, wrapping it up. And understand this right thing, because that's why on my prayer line, I just had to testify. And on my show, I'm doing the same thing right now. Why? Because it's real, it's the truth, that's the lesson, and I'm out. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure did, and I just wanted to testify. Can you? In closing, right thing, because may you all live to be 100 and have all testimonies for yourself. And me 100 minus a day. I never know that my right thinkers have passed away, and you just got my testimony.